There's one thing that I believe everyone is guilty of, and everyone is unintentionally doing it every single day. And that thing is compromise. Everyone is compromising a lot in different domain. It doesn't matter what the domain or what the area of interest is, but everyone is compromising a lot. And we have been told that it's okay to compromise. But what you don't understand is it's not the compromise that's the problem. It's the things that come along with it. So it's kind of like a saying that if you give them an inch, they'll take a feet. So what does that mean is if you start to give them those inches, you start to give them away things, they'll start taking more and more and more. And some stage of whatever you're in, you need to stop it. You would be like, no, I have to stop compromising on some things. It doesn't matter whether it'll be love, whether it'll be your work or the work you're demanding from other people. At one stage, you need to understand that no, I actually can't. I'm not going to compromise on my virtues. I'm not going to compromise on my desires, on my ethics. So what's gonna happen is once you stop those compromising, you actually understand that the world is filled with actually that nuances of actually taking more and more and more. Everyone wants to take more, let's say. I'm gonna take a general example. Let's say you give free food to someone, and let's say he is fortunate enough to buy it, but you'd be like, okay, you know what? That person is hungry, but he's fortunate enough to have the food. I'm gonna give it to him. You know what? I'm kind. I'm gonna give it to him. And that person is, even though he is willing to get his own food, he's going to come back to you again and again for free food. And that is the human nature of desire, of getting more, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. But there is something wrong with you letting go of your peace to give it to other person. Let's say we go and talk about our virtues. Let's say you give away your virtues for kindness. Let's say you'll be like, you know what, today I won't be as harsh to other people because of my virtues, and I'll be a little kinder. Let's say it would be your virtue of courage or something like that, and the other person is being fearful, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna be light on that. I'm gonna let that person be fearful. Then one day or the other, you're going to compromise on yourself. You're going to compromise on your virtues, and that effect is because that compromise is going to have an effect on yourself, on your root, on your soul. And what's going to happen is it is going to ultimately change you to the position where you'd be the average person who doesn't really give a fuck about the virtues. And then you'd understand that, okay, this is mainly because of those compromises. Every single compromise you make is going to lead you to a position down below the initial position. That is a fact. It doesn't matter what the situation is. That is going to bring you down to a lower segment of the growth sector. And it could be applied to anything. Let's say you even talk about love, right? If you talk about love and you start to compromise on your love, you start to be less empathetic or less indulged in your love, you see it decline every single day because of those compromises. You'd be like, let's say you have call with someone every single day, right? And you'd start to skip a day, and then that day would become two, then two become three, and that is a fact. You can actually go in and then try it. Try this and come back to this video, and you'd see that, yeah, every compromise I make have led me to a lower position. Then why are you compromising on your virtues? Why are you compromising on your character, on yourself? If you're trying to compromise on yourself, you're downgrading yourself. There's not a single positive that comes from that compromises. Then again, going back to our initial point, if you give them an inch, they'll take away a feet. So stop making these excuses, or stop making these compromises, and start to actually be a little bit of selfish when it comes to your character, when it comes to your virtues, and then live through those virtues and in accordance to your nature, which will actually give you a more fruitful, sturdy life than the compromises itself.